Hi, I'm here at the University of Maryland Stamp Student Union. With me is Sandman, a singer and two-string bassist for Morphine, and they'll be playing here in a few hours, but Mark was nice enough to take some time right before the show to talk to Art Strands. Thanks for being with us.
I'm glad to be here.
Now, two-string bass, saxophone, and drums, this isn't quite your typical lineup. How did you decide on the setup for the band?
Well, it was the result of me, I was trying to play bass with a slide. I don't know why. I can't remember why. And I realized that it was much easier if I just kept one string on the bass. And it was much easier. And Dana, we were already friends, and he was over the house. He had his baritone sax, and we started playing together a little, and it had an interesting sound. And then I added my voice, and we realized that everything's in the same range. And even though it was kind of sparse sounding, it seemed full to us, you know. So we decided to get a drummer, and we figured, well, we'll do one show, and just for experiment's sake, you know. And I don't know, it just kind of caught on gradually.
You guys have no guitar, and it seems that with the increasing popularity of rap, electronica, and ska, all of which either don't use guitar or don't emphasize it, do you think that guitar-based rock bands are a thing of the past?
Well, I've heard that before, and they keep coming back, so probably not.
You said that your favorite instrument to play is actually guitar.
Yeah, I have no vendetta against the guitar at all. I love guitar, and it's just that in this band it seemed complete with the instruments that we had.
Like to keep that low sound.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like it was missing anything. It's not like we're always thinking, damn, if we had a guitar. But we never think that.
Right. On your records, especially your most recent one, like Swimming, you use lots of effects and other instruments in the studio. How do you try to recreate that sound, if at all, when you play live?
Well, all the albums have extra instruments on them. We're not purists or anything. It's just that I think on the last album we turned up the extra instruments a little. They were a little louder. But we had already played all those songs live, so we knew we could pull them off, even without bringing the overdubs on stage.
It doesn't sound like it's missing anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah. How much improvisation do you do live?
Well, we don't have the kind of improvisation with long solos.
Right.
But we have more, the improvisation's more in the arrangements. Like we'll stretch out one part or get really, really quiet all of a sudden, just things like that, dynamics. And so the songs are kind of a little different every night, and we like to keep it that way.
When you tour, you have a definite approach of headlining your own shows, and even by playing more than one night in cities if you have to. Why did you decide to go about things this way?
The band I was in before this did a lot of opening tours, and everybody said this is great exposure, and I guess it seemed to make sense, but it wasn't very much fun doing those tours. As a band, people are there to see someone else, and it's just not that satisfying. So we decided with this band, if we couldn't do our own shows, we'll just stay home. And so the first times we went out, we played really, really small, the smallest places. And we just kept doing it. And now we're at the Stamp Ballroom, Grand Ballroom.
It's Grand Ballroom.
At UMD.
Right. What are your feelings on all ages shows?
I prefer to play all ages shows. I like all ages shows. I like playing for all ages, and not just like underage, but like all the ages. You know, like the elderly. You know, they don't go to clubs too much, but they actually appreciate a lot of live music. Same notes as the music they liked, you know, when they were younger. And we've played some shows in cities like street fairs, and you get it, it's great. And then for months afterwards, where little old ladies are saying, "Oh, I saw you." It's great. I liked it.
You get them out of the houses with some good music. Here's a pretty general question. What do you think about the state of radio today?
Well, Depends where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Some areas have better radio.
Yeah.
Boston, where we come from, has really good radio,
Yeah.
especially the college radio. There's
Mm-hmm.
about 20 good college stations.
Yeah.
So I like college radio in general.
Mm-hmm.
I like the variety and the, I don't know. I don't listen to commercial radio that
Mm-hmm.
much.
Your songs seem to turn up on soundtracks a lot, movies like Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead and Get Shorty. Do you think your music lends itself to these type of noir films?
Well,
Or do you just like to put songs on soundtracks?
Get Shorty wasn't really creepy, was it?
No, but it kind of falls in that
Vaguely noir, I guess.
vaguely noir.
It's kind of a comedy. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, Elmo Leonard, he has that whole type
Yeah.
of... The crime, that's more like it, maybe
Right.
crime music.
Well, it's hard to say because so many movies now are loaded with contemporary bands, you know.
It's almost become where they make a movie just for the soundtrack.
Yeah, you wonder sometimes. Or they'll release soundtracks that aren't, none of the bands are in the movie.
Right.
So it's hard to say. I mean, it seems to me that it's about the director. The director, he's making the movie, he's got this vision, he hears a certain sound, and I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, now you have a show coming up soon. Just want to thank you again for being
All
with
right.
us, and have a good show.
Thank you, Marilyn, for listening, and see you tonight.
This is David Mallett for Art Strands.
Interesting interview, David. How was the show?
Excellent, Debbie. Their music just inspires your whole body to move to its beat with its infectious sound. It was also a great location for a concert.